invented by Lee Clark, one of the simplest stonefly patterns I've ever seen, ever fished. We like to apparently really overcomplicate these things. You know, triple back foam knotted legs, the works, spending a half hour per fly, which is fun. I mean, you know, people that have seen my videos know that I love to overcomplicate flies. But for straight up just tying for the hatch, which right now is kind of the mode, you know, we're in, seeing as how we're right on it. These flies are unbelievably effective. They fish great, they're easy to tie, you can tie a bunch of them, they're pretty cheap to tie. So anyway, Daichi hopper hook. The reason I use this hook a lot is because I love the bend. I forget the actual name of the Daichi, but it's like the 200R style. That bend seems to lose a lot of fish, it's just too sharp back there. And this has a much wider gap, so this also a great bead head nymph hook. So I'm going to take some gold silver mylar, gold on one side, silver on the other, and that's going to be our body. But first I'm going to throw, since I'm not doing a thread base on this, I'm going to throw a little Zap-A-Gap down. And wrap the body back towards the bend and then back forward. And all right, body's built. Her off, and we'll see right now when I touched it if I got any zap. Apparently not much, because my fingers aren't stuck to the hook. And the underwing is just going to be some Antron yarn. And I'm just going to do, this is kind of a tricolor made up, but I'm just going to do a single strand here. Try to stretch it, get it straight. You can double it up if you like to get a little thicker. I'll just double it up and it's fine. If this were a size 8, I'd just do single, but let's see how that turns out there. That's pretty, yeah, it's a little much. I'll do single. It's inherently my nature to overdress these things, because I almost just can't stand fishing something so simple. Cut her off, tie down our butts, and when I cut this, I'm just going to give it a little taper cut here. You can see I didn't cut it in a straight line. If you kind of roll it, it's tapered. And now our wing is going to be deer hair. Once I clip it, I'm just going to pull out the really small guys, give it a little comb, get all the fluff and garbage out of it. And the key here is I'm not going to stack it. I want it looking totally a mess. And the tips are going to extend just past my yarn. Do loose wrap, one more loose wrap so it doesn't spin. and tying in deer hair to make sure it doesn't spin. Now that I got some wraps on there, I'm going to just pull it up, take a turn, pull it up, take a turn, tie it all in. Clip my butts nice and close. And then tie the rest of it in. Quite a few thread wraps here, but I just want to make sure everything is cleaned up in there really well. And if there's any that rolled in on you, you can clip them now. Alright, there's our wing. And our hackle's just going to be a brown hackle. And I usually leave them on the cape and size them. That one's a little small. I like to size them while they're on the actual skin. That way, if you start pulling off feathers and then sizing them and they're wrong, you're going to end up wasting a whole bunch. And just over the years, I've collected these bags of feathers that were the wrong size, and I think I'm going to use them, and then I always end up still grabbing from the full pelt, and then sometimes you end up losing those bags and whatever. It's just easier to keep it all in one. So tie in your hackle stem and just start wrapping it forward. Lost her. See if we can save it. Look at that. Alright, give it our sweet back. Tear her off. Okay, I give her kind of a refluff here, and then I'm going to trim the bottom. So it will ride straight up and down. Real low in the surface film. And there you have a Clarkstone. Super easy fly, and just deadly effective during the salmon fly hatch, especially on the Deschutes. I haven't fished it many other places, but the Madison I fished it stuff. I didn't end up using these, but I'm sure it'll get in deadly. But on really pressured days too, these seem to be dynamite. So